Our mission at El Paseo is to foster community and wellness through our stewardship, our conservation, placemaking, partnerships, programming, and community gardening. We offer a lot of community programming. We like to say that we grow leaders. Many people come here without any knowledge and leave experts in beekeeping or gardening, or also come and offer their services to the community like yoga, meditation, dance, flamenco, drawing classes. The land that the garden actually sits on used to be a rail yard, and then right down on the street was a metal smelter. And so this was a very contaminated brownfield site before, with a lot of heavy metal that is very harmful to residents. People have to be very mindful when growing vegetables in the city. There's a lot of, it depends on the plants, some are riskier than others growing them in contaminated soil. For instance, you never want to grow root vegetables in bad soil because that's literally the edible part is in the ground. You also don't want to really eat leafy greens or herbs that's grown in bad soil. The one that's a little more forgiving is when you have trees or tomatoes or fruiting plants, because sometimes the plant itself filters out all those contaminants by the time it gets to the fruit. Here at El Paseo, since depending on what areas are remediated, we've been able to do really great things. For instance, our permaculture site, that whole area was remediated right after the metal smelter site. And so we're able to grow herbs. We built up that soil with wood chips and soil. So all of that is very healthy. The beds have been rebuilt a couple of times since 2009. But so these are the beds that people have their private plot. And so they maintain their own plot. And then if we continue up to the end, we have part of the prairie that the city initially installed that we've since then maintained and added more native plants to. And right in the prairie, we have our bees. So we started off with 2 hives, and now we have 4 on this site that are rather tall. So when they stack all the hives, those are called supers, and so they're able to stack them, and they have some that are dedicated for honey. And so we've already done our harvest, honey harvest for the year, and we leave the rest of the honey for the bees so they can survive the winter. We also have behind our shed, our south shed, we have a solar panel that was actually built by Antonio when he was in college with his renewable energy team. And so that wasn't being used at the school, and so we rehomed it here in the garden. And so now it allows us to charge our power tools, our weed whacker, our phones, or anything that we might need. So we have a little bit of power here.
I have a harvest bag.
Most of our allotment gardeners are seniors. They really bring life and knowledge and culture to the garden, and so many times they come out and they bring their carts full of food, and they have their potlucks in the garden. And so these parties, they're so welcoming. They offer people food. Anybody that's working in the garden, they say, "Oh, come and eat." And so this really creates these connections, intergenerational and cultural, because we have seniors from all over Latin America. When I grew up, I really didn't have that identification with my Mexican culture as much besides church. And so really being here in the garden has really connected me more with my heritage and culture.